Hello, thank you for stopping by my kitchen. You are very welcome as always. Today I have been making this delicious marble cake. So it's got chocolate and just plain sponge and coffee in it. An ordinary sponge, and then you divide the cake into three, cake mixture into three. Third stays the same, a third has chocolate, well, cocoa powder in it to make it chocolate, and another third has coffee in it. And then of course the Mocha Icing, which is, Mocha is a mixture of chocolate and coffee. And today I've put walnuts on top, just for a topping really. You can leave it plain. I have made it and just done the Mocha Icing on it, or yeah, it looks nice with walnuts, and of course walnuts go very well with the coffee flavours. So yes, let's give it a try. Let's get it on my plate first. There. Oh, now I've got to decide which flavour I try first. Shall I chop it in half? Then I can see. Oh look. Oh, look at that. So there's that flavour there with a little bit of coffee, or I think that's chocolate on the edge. Let's have a taste. As always, it's a bit big. Oh, that is so nice. Also, what I did was I toasted the walnuts. I toasted the walnuts first thing this morning so they had time to cool down, and it is added to it. Sorry, at this point my SD card failed. It was probably trying to tell me I was rambling too much. So we will get straight on with the cooking. Here's how I made the marble cake. First we need to put our oven on 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we need to grease our tray. This is a 7 by 11 inches tray, or 18 by 28 centimeters. Just mark it there and just mark the corners. You have to excuse the look of this whole tray, but it's a nice sturdy thick one. It doesn't wobble in the oven, so yeah, that's why I keep it. And it's going to be lined anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So just cut into your pencil mark, which was the corner of your tray. And remember, that's going to go in the tin that way around. So now I'm going to put a bit of butter in the bottom of the tin just to anchor the grease-proof paper onto it. And this just goes in, pushing those corner bits into the corners of the tray. And there, simple. Now all we need to do is grease over the top of the cling film, and I'm probably gonna chop these little curly bits off too. There's a little bit of excess paper that we don't need. Push, as you're greasing this, push down into the corners, into the edges, and that will make the grease-proof paper stick into the edges of the tray, so there's no air underneath. There, set that aside and we'll start making the cake. Into my bowl I'm going to put 6 ounces or 175 grams of butter. This butter needs to be at room temperature, and we'll just whisk that up. Into this I'm going to add 6 ounces or 175 grams of caster sugar. We just need to cream this butter and sugar together until it's light and fluffy. So that's lighter in colour and looking fluffy. my jug I have 3 eggs. I'm going to whisk them up. And I'm going to add them very gradually to the butter and sugar mixture. If you add them too quickly or too much at a time, the mixture will curdle, and we really don't want that because we're getting air into the mixture. I'm getting to the stage now where it's all the mixtures coming up the sides of the bowl and it's not being incorporated. So this is where we need to scrape the sides down into the middle of the bowl so it all gets mixed up together. There, that's what the mixture looks like when it's ready, perfect. To this we're going to add the flour, but to the flour we need to add a pinch of salt. About that much. Sift the flour into the mixture. And to this I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of milk. 1, 2, and just fold that all together. We do want all the flour incorporated at this point, but saying that, we don't want to mix up too vigorously because this mixture is going to be mixed again. So now you're going to need 2 other bowls because we need to divide this mixture between 3 bowls. So 1/3 we'll leave in this bowl. If I try and get it in a block, it doesn't have to be perfect. So cut that in half. Yeah, 1/3 we'll leave in this bowl. 1/3 we're going to add chocolate cocoa powder to make it a chocolate cake, and the other 1/3 we're going to add coffee to make that bit a chocolate coffee cake. It's a little hard to tell the thirds when you've got different size bowls, but I think that's about right. Maybe a little more in the coffee one. There, that's fine. So this one's going to stay the same. This one in the middle is going to have 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder added to it, and I'm going to sieve that cocoa powder because you often get lumps in cocoa powder. I'm going to mix that in to make the chocolate cake. So to the coffee one, we're going to add 1 to 2 teaspoons of strong coffee. I think I'm going to add my 2nd teaspoon to this. There, we have our 3 flavours. Now we're going to add the different flavours to the tin. So I'm going to add 4 spoons across. 1 of vanilla, 1 of chocolate, and 1 of coffee. And then we will start again with the chocolate one over here. And that was coffee, so basically just do them alternately. So the vanilla one's going to have to go there next to the coffee, so this one's going to have to be the coffee. I said 4 spoons across, and I do want 4 spoons across. I've done 3 there, so Put another chocolate there. If you do 3 like I've done here, and I'm going to move everything over, what can I put in there? I'll put a coffee in there. What will happen is you'll get a piece of cake with perhaps 2 flavours in and not 3 flavours. So if you do lots of little spoonfuls, then it's going to come out as you get all the flavours in one portion, if that makes sense. So once you've spread it all out, any leftover just top up on your dots really until all the mixture's gone. So all my bowls are empty, and now we just swirl it around to make it fit the tin. So make sure you get cake mixture in all the corners. There, that's perfect, and that will go in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. So my cake's had 25 minutes. Let's see if it's cooked. Look at that. It looks it, but we need to just press. Oh yes. It's the middle really you need to press. If it's wobbly in the middle, obviously you'll put it back in for another 5 minutes, but that seems fine. So that will stay in the tray now until it's cool. When the cake is nearly cool, what we need to do is turn it out onto a wire rack so it cools down completely. So just fold the paper over so it doesn't get trapped underneath the cake. Put the wire rack on the top and just flip over. Come out. And you'll be able to get the paper off. There you are. And you can now see all the different flavours. So just leave that to cool totally before we ice it. The first thing to do when making the mocha icing is to assemble the flavours really. So we need 2 teaspoons of hot coffee this time. Oh, look at that, it's all dripping. Never mind, we'll wipe that up when I'm done. That's 2 teaspoons. And to that, we need to add 1 level teaspoon of cocoa powder. And it needs to be hot. I'll just level it off with my finger. It needs to be hot because the cocoa powder needs to dissolve in it. So I'll just give that a stir. And that's going to be the flavour for the buttercream icing. The next preparation we need to do is chop the walnuts. These are roasted walnuts. I roasted them this morning because roasted walnuts, because they're not going to be cooked in the cake, roasted walnuts are far better. They have, it takes the bitterness out of them. So these were cooked, I just put them on a baking tray and cooked them for about 10 minutes on 150 degrees Celsius. Really just cook them until you smell them, so I'll chop them now. Oh, they're going to go everywhere. They just need to be roughly chopped. We're only going to sprinkle these on the top. And this is optional. You can leave the cake with nothing on but the buttercream icing, or you can put nuts, walnuts or pecans, or hundreds and thousands, anything really. It's just that walnuts go very well with coffee flavour, so being that it's a mocha icing, walnuts go very well, especially toasted walnuts. In fact, I'm surprised I've got any left. I've been eating them since this morning because toasted walnuts have such a wonderful flavour. So just set this aside while we make the buttercream. Here I have 3 ounces of room temperature butter, 3 ounces or 85 grams. Into this I'm going to add the coffee and cocoa mixture, probably about a quarter of the flour, about a quarter of the icing sugar to start. If you put too much icing sugar in to start, it just flies everywhere. So we'll try and avoid that. If you get it just before you put your mixer on, just kind of get it slightly incorporated, it'll stop it flying. Again, try and mix some of it in to stop it flying around too much. So just give it a scrape down around the sides to get everything incorporated. And I'm going to put the remaining icing sugar in. Another scrape of the sides, and then one more width and I think we'll be done. So I'm going to assemble the cake on this board, so the first thing I need to do is get it on the board. So to get it from the tray cooling rack to the board, whatever you want to put it on, put whatever it is on top and flip. There we are, perfect. So we just put the butter cream icing on the cake and spread it out. Just push it out to the sides. And once you've got it on quite evenly, just spend a little time pushing right out to the edges, so the buttercream icing goes right to the edge of the cake. Now I think that's about even. Oh look, there's a bit left on the knife. I'll eat that if I don't put it on, so I'll put it on. I'd rather eat it on the cake. There. Now we just need to sprinkle the nuts on top. So once they're sprinkled on, just take your hands and very lightly push. It will make them stick more into the icing rather than falling off when you cut the cake, because you've spent time getting them even, so it would be nice if they stayed there. Stayed where they got put. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me the thumbs up and subscribe. If you would like more recipes like this, I upload every Wednesday at 2 p.m. UK time.